All right, what's going on, all my gamers, all my Genshin gamers? So, as the absolute top tier content creator for Genshin Impact in the past 5 minutes, because I don't know if anyone else has uploaded a video in a while, but Genshin Impact has had some of a big controversy that came around. I also covered it, but I wanted to watch this Mujin video covering it because Mujin is the absolute GOAT, and I haven't watched it. I haven't reacted to any of his videos before, so this is definitely going to be the one that I wanted to react to because this has to do with a game that I know and a topic that I know okay-ishly well, just because I didn't really look into it because I knew what was going to happen, chat. Anyone surprised? Anyone in the chat? Anyone surprised? No? All right. Well, let's go.
Another day, another Genshin.
I can't believe it got 100,000. Chat, look, they almost got 100,000 signatures. You know what that means? That means they almost have a percent of a percent.
Impact Boycott.
Nice,
this time with over 100,000 signatures on a change.org petition.
Holy
with the name
shit.
Stop Cultural Appropriation and Whitewashing in Miho.
I think the more I look at Kanich, I'm starting to love his design just a little bit more. I didn't like it at first. I thought he looked really fucking stupid, but I think I kind of like him now. He kind of looks
Games.
kind of
MiHoYo, otherwise known as Hoyoverse, who is Genshin Impact's developer. This isn't the first
Their
time that
supporter
Genshin Impact is
videos?
accused by its community, mostly on Twitter and Reddit,
I never would have guessed.
of being racist. But this is the first time where you have significant people within the community talk about it. I'm talking voice actors who voiced for the game directly talking about it, and content creators who never really involved themselves in controversy and who've never spoken about something like this talk about it now. The people protesting this were done with the game, voicing their discontent and saying that they were going to boycott it. But little did they know that this entire controversy, this entire boycott, was going to be catastrophic.
But when they said that they were going to boycott it, did they stop playing it? That is the one and only question that actually needs to be answered.
But not in
Answer's
the way
no, by the way. Spoiler alert. In case you haven't figured, if you didn't know about this controversy, spoiler alert, they didn't stop playing it.
think. Let's talk about it. But you know how you can avoid catastrophe? Showing up with a ship like this. And you can get
Mujin,
exactly that because World of
you
Warships
bastard.
is collaborating yet again with Ars Nova, this time with new content. The cosmetics
I'm gonna take this time to talk about how much I dislike Mujin.
Characters show up on your ship as you're doing your battles.
All right, maybe I don't like him that, or maybe I don't dislike him that much.
Character Hyuga, as well as returning ones
Hyuga
like
clan.
Iona and Kunzo. With over 500 ships spread across 10 different factions ever since the game came out.
Is this
in
like War of
2015,
Battleships but with waifus?
You'll no doubt find a ship that suits your playstyle.
That's kinda cool,
Speaking
actually.
of playstyles, you can play solo or with teams.
Oh, wait, no,
including
this
game
is-
modes such as co-op. This game's also
They
free
added waifus
and
to
on
this game?
consoles.
Wow.
The icing on the cake, though, is that if you use the code ARP, you get 5 special containers, 7 days premium
I don't think I
account,
wanna know what that is.
2.5 million credits.
We're gonna let
and
the ad roll because it's
500
kind of
doubloons.
it's kind of rude
So
to
what
like
are you
skip
waiting
it.
for? Click the link in the description.
Oh my
or
God,
the
it
pinned
is World
comment.
of
And
Warships.
thank you to Wargaming for sponsoring this video, baby.
That's hilarious.
Genshin Impact has been out for almost 4 years now, and
God, 4 years, Chad. This is almost. It almost feels like the same mistake I made with playing League of Legends for almost 8 years. No, it was 8 years actually.
that time, it has found itself
I just
embroiled in racism
finally woke up,
controversies 3
quote unquote.
times now, including this one going on right now. And the question is, why? Well,
My question is, why do people keep trying?
see, Genshin
whatever.
Impact has many regions,
Whatever.
with Liyue right here being inspired by China. I mean, they have
Liyue.
an actual opera singer called Yunjin that sings in Mandarin Chinese opera.
I'm just gonna say this. I was always a big fan of that. I know some people don't like it. I was always a big fan of it.
She was made to promote and celebrate Chinese culture,
I
so it's
love
no
her.
secret Liyue is based on
She's
China.
also
Then
really
you have
busted, by the way,
Inazuma,
Chad. If
based
you ever
on
have a
Japan,
problem-
where the enemies look
If you ever have a problem with DPS, throw some Yunjin on it and tell me it doesn't fix it.
like samurais, and the goddess of the region, or Archon, is called the Raiden Shogun.
God, she's so
right?
hot,
It's
bro.
fairly straightforward.
I love her.
The first racism controversy that Hoyoverse was embroiled in was shortly after the game's release in 2020. One of the
Friendship
first
strengthened.
and most common enemies you fight in the game for a very long time are called hilichurls.
I'm pretty sure it still hasn't stopped. I'm pretty sure Natlan has hilichurls.
The controversy stemmed from how their skin is the blackest it can be, and they are seen as the enemy. What made this controversy somewhat significant, though, was when an office tour of the developer of Genshin Impact was published on YouTube.
What is that?
And people saw an employee taking inspiration for the dance the hilichurl does from tribal and indigenous people. This is the dance right here, right? So overall, this happened.
However, I just always thought that was a cool
dance.
I'm not gonna lie.
Over $1 billion just in 6 months, and the community was so huge that these complaints, honestly, they pretty much got ignored. No one really took them seriously. Now, at this point, Genshin had been out for over a year. The Inazuma arc was concluding, and people were looking forward to the next region that came afterwards, which was Sumeru.
Which was hell. No, I definitely like the Inazuma, or I like Sumeru more than Inazuma.
Such a content drought that leakers were becoming more and more of a problem because people looked forward to new content so much. I would argue one of the biggest leaks.
Man, I'm so glad that that didn't become a trend, right, chat? Right? Content drought. There's totally not a whole. Never mind.
In this game's history was this image right here. This was posted on Reddit
beloved.
And then Twitter. And as you can see, this has over 20,000 upvotes on the site.
It's kind of ironic. Okay, no. Okay, I was going to say it's kind of ironic, but every character aside from Nahida are all fucking garbage. These are all the worst characters. I don't want to say Nilu is. I just personally don't use her, but I think she's actually pretty good. But I don't know. I don't feel like getting her.
Subreddit
sucks though, and that's
Genshin Impact
the
leaks.
worst thing that's ever happened to this game.
This image was so extremely significant. You had 7 characters that no one had ever seen before. The only thing that was shown from Sumeru was nothing, right? This was posted on June 30th, 2022. A few days later, on July 2nd, would be the first time people would even see what the region looked like. And there you had every single
the hills have eyes. More like the hills have waifus.
Months after
so
Sumeru
many hills
finally
in that
releases.
Game.
The leaks were getting out of control, but that's not what people were concerned with on Twitter or Reddit. Sumeru was meant to be a region inspired by the Middle East and South Asia, so India, for example. This made Twitter and some Reddit communities lose their absolute minds, calling Hoyoverse racist for not wanting to display the skin colors of the cultures that they were getting inspired from.
Ooh.
And the hashtag Boycott Genshin got created. What I found really funny at the time was that these were leaked characters. These were illegally obtained images of the characters, yet people were messing.
That's like, wow, I broke into the store and, hey, officer, this guy right here, he has a bunch of illicit substances in his building. How did you find that out? I broke in. I broke in and I found it under his desk.
Messaging Genshin Impact's customer support.
That's funny.
Complaining on Twitter, complaining on Reddit, calling them racist, when
the
entire foundation of their argument is an image obtained illegally. Like, it just didn't make sense. Even if content creators and voice actors and just people in the community wanted to talk about it, they couldn't, because that would blacklist them from any collaborations with
you found out
in the
about
future. There's one
you found
thing
out about
they don't
Sumeru?
like, and it's disgusting.
Tell me all about it. Tell me how you found out.
But that didn't stop the community from creating a wildfire. Over time, as Genshin Impact would reveal more and more.
Candace, the biggest crime that ever came out with Candace is that Candace wasn't muscular. She absolutely is a muscle mommy, and she should have been respected as such. That's my complaint, honestly. That's what I fucking hate. Is she should have been muscular, bro. Same with Dehya.
Sumeru, there would always be comments in the replies talking about how they're
Hold
not
on,
dark
wait a minute.
enough.
What?
But that didn't stop a huge amount of people from liking and spending money on those designs. And ironically,
I didn't spend money on
Dehya,
but I'm glad I have her
boycott
C6
movement made on Twitter.
She's still ass though.
The
She's
goddess
absolute garbage.
Archon of
But I love her
Sumeru
so
released,
much.
which is probably the most pale character.
Was that Nahida would be running the top 10 best-selling banners in Genshin? Well, okay. I can understand this just because she's absolutely broken. Chat, if you need a Dendro character, would you go to Kalei or would you go with Nahida? It's just, it's the most broken reaction. You might as well just get the top character, right?
If any character in Sumeru, she broke sales records.
34 million. The Shogun and I almost said Kokomi. The Kokopium. The Raiden Shogun on her own did 33 million. Wow, she was only a million behind.
Yes, this
That's
was
insane.
the highest selling character banner in the history of the game since its release in 2020. More
Insane,
specifically
honestly.
in China, which is one of their main markets.
okay.
But overall, it did very, very well globally.
I wonder
too.
who did
This
more
was then largely
globally.
forgotten, right? We moved on to the next region, which
fuck
was
it.
Fontaine. A mix of French and British culture. I don't know
Yeah.
why you mix both of those things, but listen.
The way Mujin said that. The British. Ugh. Disgusting. I can't believe they put the British in this game. God, I wish the British were real.
It's your game, buddy. But people from the Sumeru controversy were hoping that the region after Fontaine, which was going to be
Shout out to France.
Natlan, would give them what they wanted, darker skinned characters, because it was a region rumored to be inspired by South American and some African
Ooh,
culture.
in-game
Well,
footage.
as you could guess from this video and the title and what we're
Natlan
talking
looks pretty
about,
cool, though.
it didn't meet any of their
Why does
expectations.
this kind of look like a Minecraft biome? Never mind.
On July 9th, 2020,
Ooh, let's see. I can't pronounce half these words. Chaska, I'm gonna say her just because she looks like Misfortune. Xiaolonin? I don't know her. I don't know who she is. She looks really cool. Auroron looks kind of edgy. I kind of like edgy characters. Kinich, I'm really warming up to his character design. I didn't really like it at first. I'm also covering his face, so but whatever. You guys probably know what Kinich looks like by now. Mavuika, Maverick over here. She's really hot. I like her. She's supposed to be the Himiko of this universe. I'm all about it, chat.
24, Hoyoverse did their 4.8 version live stream, and then at the end revealed not only more of
Kit
Natlan's
Lally.
landscape, but
Lally?
all
I don't know.
these
like her as well.
characters. With Mavuika over here,
Mavuika,
being
okay,
the goddess
Mavuika.
or archon of the region. So as you can tell, there's not much of a change
I like her
since
gloves.
Sumeru, right? So this prompted the same people who disliked Sumeru designs to come back on Twitter and Reddit and in the communities they frequent to talk about their dislike
Gasp.
and
I can't believe it. They came back.
in the
Chat, we
direction
couldn't keep
Hoyoverse
them
took
down.
these characters. We saw tweets like this popping up with the
bastards.
hashtag boycott HY.
Dark skin characters in any games. That sounds like a publisher. They got my boy Avdol. I love Avdol. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures peak, chat. Dodoi's really, really cool. I really like him. Egil, or as they call him in the abridged version, Tiffany. We got Tiffany over here. Did they put Avdol twice? He's only in one part. Wait, I was gonna say technically he's in two parts. He's not. He's in one part. Is that Nekomata? It is Nekomata. Let's see. Dutch, dude. Black Lagoon, absolute peak. Noir. Oh. Noir is probably one of my favorite designs in Nikkei. It's probably because of her huge tits and her big ass hips. I love her. Yoruichi. Oh, she's so peak, bro. I love her.
YV, which stands for Hoyoverse, saying, look at this bullshit. Fix your ass games, Hoyoverse.
No.
Showing examples of dark-skinned characters in any games
no.
and then
I
comparing
don't
them
believe I
to
will.
Hoyoverse's palette.
I still wonder why they have Avdol in there twice.
This
Whatever.
boycott ended up reaching people outside of the targeted demographic with this tweet right here, where someone ended up sending a message.
Please be kindly reminded the Genshin Impact is a work of fiction and is not related to actual people, events, groups, and organizations. They're not wrong. I mean, it's not a real game.
To Genshin Impact's customer
Maybe Assassin's Creed should have had something like this.
support, complaining about the characters' designs and their skin tone, saying,
Oh, he's gonna read it.
Genshin is not real life. Genshin Impact, what kind of response is this when a player submits feedback about the racism and colorism?
Well, it's like, why would they care about one single player? It feels like the appropriate response. It's like, all right, we're not gonna give you actual attention. You're gonna get the automated response.
Embarrassing, unprofessional behavior from
Embarrassing.
a company of grown-ups and supposed mature, well-read developers. Hashtag, why are they white, Hoyo?
They're not white. They're just light skinned.
They were referencing what the customer service was responding with. Here's what they said. Dear Traveler, thank you for your feedback. Please be kindly reminded that Genshin Impact is a work of fiction and is not related to actual people, events, groups, or organizations. We really do hope for your understanding. Kind regards, Genshin Impact Customer Service Team. This
Right.
led to a very divided response on Twitter, with some people calling Hoiverse based for this response and others
Based.
saying that they were immature and this only made them hate them more. In
That's
any case,
funny.
this got so much attention that the person who tweeted it ended up deleting their account, which is why I'm showing you a screenshot.
Why did they leak their account? What? Oh, were people not happy about it? Okay, I was
But
gonna
this
say,
was
why would
still nothing
you
compared to
delete
what
your
happened
account for that?
next.
It probably got a lot of backlash.
Rodriguez, a
Right,
voice
right.
actress and someone who happens to voice Sucrose from Genshin
Ah, Christ. Here we go. I can't wait for the the voice actors to start saying shit.
Impact, the 4-star character, tweeted this out on July 13th, saying, "I could stay quiet about this and protect myself, but us folk of color don't always need to stay quiet and let others fuck us over and disrespect us, so that we continue to advance at half the pace of our white peers. If you're going to use real world deities, respect them. If you're basing off of real cultures, respect that. I'm fine with things being inspired by various cultures. That's awesome. Representation is dope, but bare minimum, do some research and show some cultural appreciation."
I like how Hoyoverse is like, ironically taking inspiration from T'Challa's response. We don't do that here. No, we don't do that here, bro.
Then she goes on to say, Oloran is the supreme Yoruba deity. You could find that with a quick Google search even. This is unforgivable. Look at what a sick job Smite did with their own interpretation. It's not hard.
Man, that actually looks so badass, dude. He looks so cool. I would have played Smite, but it's not my cup of tea, you know. Ironically, I logged in, bought the V Shoujo skins, and uninstalled it immediately.
So here she's referencing Oloran
That
right
looks
here,
badass.
the Yoruba deity. On the right, you could see the design from Smite. And right here is a character called Ororun in Genshin
Ororun.
Impact, part of Natlan's new
I like his
characters. That doesn't resemble him in the slightest, right? She then ends her chain of tweets with a picture of herself with a book called Congo, the Epic
Joke's on you. I can't read.
History of a People, to prove that she's not doing this performatively. All right. So it's obvious
There's
that
words
this
on that
tweet
book,
or
by the
series
way.
of tweets are very angry and
I
emotional.
had to find that one out.
And this was partly because it wasn't just talking about a video game anymore. It was talking about racism in general. This was also very direct, right? This wasn't a subtweet or an indirect tweet. This was calling out Genshin specifically by
Right.
including this picture of the upcoming character.
Yeah,
Ororo.
fuck you,
A
Genshin,
voice actor being
specifically.
this direct about Genshin Impact controversy has never really quite happened before. So one could say this was really the ground zero of the massive Twitter drama that followed. Valeria didn't stop there though. She tweeted again on the same day, "My reaction to you dorks saying you're gonna switch your game to a different language now." And it shows an emoji laughing. "I'm not deleting my tweets either. Seeing the huge response, both hateful and positive, means that I struck a chord. I'm done being silent."
I like that, bro. I like that. I've been making jokes, of course, right, this whole time. But I like that, bro. She's standing on business. There'd be a lot of people who would like fold or like delete their tweets or something like that. She did not. She stood on business. I like it and I respect it. I can't be mad at
It's
that.
2024. We can all do better.
I can't
Then you
do
had
better.
Bill Butt speak
I'm
up,
actually
someone who
gonna do
doesn't
worse.
voice for Genshin Impact, but who voices for Honkai Star Rail, another game in Hoyoverse's roster. He's Albert, the beloved host of Honkai Star Rail live streams.
Yeah, he's a top tier character, bro. I'm so glad he's in the game. I totally don't hate him every fucking live stream.
That showcase the next version.
That's not his fault, though.
Choosing not
He's
to
just
be
reading
as direct
dialogue. That's
as
not his fault.
Valeria and saying, "Dark skin is beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise." This was also made on July 13th, the same day Valeria was tweeting, and one could regard it as a subtweet, as an indirect tweet towards
That
what was
gift
going
scared
on
me a
in
bit. I was
Genshin
like, wait, I
Impact.
wasn't expecting it to
Alejandro
move.
Saab, who voices in 3 different Hoyoverse games in major roles, quote tweeted one of Valeria's tweets and said,
Oh,
"I
right,
didn't
he's
know
not-
that's
there's
who he's
only
based
3 right
on.
now."
Ah, that's bad. You still got time to fix it."
they
Doubling
don't.
down and tweeting it again on his VTuber account,
Saw
echoing
you.
the same statement, but this time saying, "Wow, this is bad." So at this point, Twitter was on fire, and you had something that had never happened before. Multiple voice actors were, in some way, risking their jobs by speaking out about this so directly. But this was
Damn.
only the beginning. This tweet right here was made saying, "Why aren't Genshin content creators saying anything? They're the voices of the community. They should speak."
Now, I am a Genshin content creator who said something about it, but they probably wouldn't like what I said because I kind of made fun of the situation the whole time. I spoke up. You guys wanted me to speak up. I spoke up. Whoops.
Garnering quite a bit of attention. This made very
As the
positive
rank 1
Genshin
top
Impact creators,
Genshin
people who
content
typically
creator, I
avoid
said something.
controversy in every way and just focus on the positives, feel pressured to speak. Doro44 is one of them, and
Nah,
he quote
fuck 'em.
tweeted
I don't
this
know this
tweet
random.
saying, "Why aren't Genshin content creators speaking?" And then had this to say: "I did on my stream and on my reaction to the trailer. I'm disappointed that there aren't darker skin tone characters in Natlan.
Oh, they got Doro responding. Doro, the man who loves everything.
And the representation is just so bad, especially since Hoyo is pulling from real-world regions and cultures. I genuinely had hope for them, and I hope they make changes in time of release." And Doro speaking out pretty much started a chain reaction of other content creators also starting
If Doro
to speak
says
out
so, you
about
can't
it.
let Doro show you
You
up,
had
bro.
Blap, one of the biggest Genshin Impact content creators around the time it released, able to do
Who's
a
that?
video just playing the story and getting over 1 million views, said, "The insane part is like, what else is there to say about Genshin's colorism that hasn't already been said 2 years ago? People were talking about the same issues that were seen in Sumeru's cast and were instead told to wait for Natlan. Now that we're here, what do you wait for?"
That's what I'm wondering. Why did they actually wait? I'm so curious as to why they waited, because it's not like someone told them it's gonna happen. They waited for like no reason. They just told themselves that it was gonna happen, and then got surprised when it didn't happen. And it's like, well, you guys made that up on your own. I don't understand.
Tuwanto, the Genshin Impact content creator with the most subscribers on YouTube, retweeted 2
Tuwanto.
tweets that were echoing the same sentiment as the voice actors and content creators that had
The most important thing that he retweeted: feet. I got it. There you go, bro. Now you're making a difference.
spoken up. While this was happening,
That's
many
funny.
people were taking the character designs that were already shown and making them
So
black,
shiny.
like this one, for example, and many others. And they were getting many views
I don't think I like how Mujin didn't say her name, because I absolutely have no idea how to say her name. I wonder if he doesn't know how to say her name just like me.
and a lot of traction on Twitter, with many people thinking, man, this should have been the actual design of these characters. But Tectone came in with a bit of a different opinion, saying Genshin Impact will not change. If you're mad, you should quit. The only thing they track/care about is money spent and
That's very
concurrent
true.
player
This
base.
is facts.
This has already happened before and will happen again.
Tectone ain't gonna sugarcoat it, bro. He said win Godfist.
Side note, I do think it's fair to be upset, but the company doesn't care. And this
Yeah.
is where it gets
It's very
tricky.
fair.
Because
That's what I thought. I also thought it was very fair. If you guys want to be mad, I think you should absolutely be mad and be pissed. But it's like, if you expect change, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
becoming clear, this was a topic with many different opinions. Genshin Impact had made this tweet officially revealing Moalani and her
Moalani.
drip marketing. And here's 2
Is
kinds
that another shark girl? Man, they really like their shark girls. Shout out to Ellen Joe. Man, she was peak. Holy shit, she jiggled.
of quote tweets that I want to show you
I
to
don't think
really
she's
make you
gonna jiggle.
understand how opinions can differ. Someone quote tweeted this drip marketing and said, "Holy shit, Hoyoverse, you bum fucks. How did she get more white?" Accusing them of whitening her up in the drip
That's-
marketing. And then you
That
had-
would be so fucking funny if they actually did that. If they actually then started taking all the characters that were sort of tan and then just started making them white and then just tweeting a middle finger saying, "Oh, fuck yourself."
this tweet right here.
That would be
saying,
really funny.
Genshin fans be like, they whitewashed Obama, showing
whitewashed
Obama,
Obama.
in 2 different scenarios
That's
that
funny.
have different light sources. This
That's
one
true
also,
too, because if you look at her legs, you can see it's like she's in front of a light, like a camera light, because you can see that she still has her tanness like at her legs.
getting
and
a
right here
lot
in her
of
stomach as
traction.
well.
But what really made this boycott catastrophic, in the sense that it didn't work, it
Obama.
won't work, and it will never
Someone
work,
put
is this right
Obama.
here. I could just sum it up with this tweet. Look, this is someone participating in the boycott saying, "Please remember not to fund Hoyoverse anymore."
So you're not gonna fund Hoyoverse, right? I get that. I'm with you so far. So by not funding Hoyoverse, you're going to still play the game, but you're just not gonna spend money on it. That's how you think that works.
Go free to play Queens.
All
Because
right.
the sentiment echoed
Don't you bring
on the
my
boycott
Chlorine into
communities
this.
on
She
Twitter
ain't do
were
nothing.
saying, hey, listen, you can keep playing the game, just don't fund them, don't spend money anymore.
Yeah.
And then you see this reply saying, or you could just stop playing the game, because just you playing it pads their numbers and makes investors happy, meaning they still get money.
so
Going
stupid,
free to play
bro.
won't stop anything. To which this person replies, it is very easy to speak, but nearly impossible to do. I still remember things.
How is it impossible to do? Do you know the last time I played League of Legends? Do you know how easy it is to quit a game that you've spent money on? I've spent, I think, at least $4 to $5 grand on League of Legends. And I'm pretty sure I've quit it, like, altogether. I've not played that game in forever. I haven't even played Swarm. I want to play Swarm because it looked really fun, but I just can't be bothered to open up that game. I play Valorant more than I play League of Legends now, and I didn't think that was ever going to happen. It's so easy to just not open the game if you really want to stand on something like this.
thinking that I wanted to delete Honkai Star Rail, but I can't.
$1,000.
Why? Because I invested 1,000 top
I wiped my ass with it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm broke.
dollars in this game. How can I delete
I had
this
no
game
money.
now? I have spent so much on it. This right here is literally, I'm not even kidding. This is why the boycott didn't work and
That
will
is so
never work,
fucking
because
funny,
the
bro.
people boycotting it cannot stop playing the game.
Dude, that is hilarious.
They can't do it.
Is that
And
a
here's
daily
the harsh
Corinne Twitter?
reality.
I need to
If
follow that.
Hoyoverse had to pick between someone who
Show up
shows
once a
up in
month,
their
spends
game once a
$100.
month, spends $100, and then leaves, versus someone who plays the game every single day for hours on end and doesn't spend any dollar, guess who they'll pick if they can keep only one?
Shmoney.
They'll pick the person who doesn't spend money but plays the game every single day for hours on end.
Right.
Why? First off, it pads their numbers and makes the active concurrent player base seem higher. But also, this person's addicted, dude. They have a higher chance of becoming an
They'll spend
evangelist,
eventually.
something very valuable
Everyone
to a
spends
company
money
that
eventually.
money can't really buy. Which means they'll talk to their friends about it. They'll probably buy merch. They'll go to conventions.
Oh
They'll
God, I buy
participate on
merch.
social
I bought
media,
Genshin merch
et cetera,
at
et
Anime
cetera.
Expo.
And let's be real here. Many people boycotting are also
There were
in
a
their
lot of
teenage
people there.
years, okay? It's not like they spent a lot of money to begin with. I doubt the real whales who are
These
actually
Genshin
spending
Impact fans spend,
thousands of
thousands to
dollars
90
every month,
thousand
yes,
characters.
thousands, actually care about this. And this is where this whole boycott is flawed. Additionally, Legal Mindset made this tweet saying,
Genshin Impact player distribution. Impact distributed by regions. Japan. I'm surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised that Japan is the top one. I really thought it was gonna be like China or something, but it's Japan. I didn't know South Korea spent that much. Wow. South Korea, Philippines, Russia. The Russia random cameo there. Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, China, Hong Kong. China's on there twice. Belarus. Miami. What? Where the hell is that? Vietnam, Ukraine, Thailand, Kazakhstan, Indonesia, Chile, Canada. Wait, America's not even on there. How many countries is this? Wow.
something tells me the Hoyoverse boycott will be ineffective. And this is a chart that shows the Genshin Impact player distribution by region.
Holy.
It says, here's a player distribution data by region in the past 5 years being
The entirety of Japan could probably quit 3 times over and still have like double America's numbers.
100 has the most players. And as you can see here, the top 5 countries in which there's the most players that play Genshin Impact are Japan, South Korea, Philippines, Russia, and Taiwan. The United States isn't
Wow.
even here to begin with, and most of the European countries aren't either. In fact, I can't even find South America except for Chile and Costa Rica. The top 10 countries on this list, who also happen to be some of its biggest spenders, associate white skin with cleanliness, beauty, purity. And they also,
Very
unfortunately, don't really have any preference towards darker skin. I don't think it's surprising for me to say that both Japan and South Korea, the biggest player bases in this game by far, would probably never spend money on a darker skin color character.
Damn.
Because don't get it twisted. At the end of the day, this is about money.
Shmoney.
Something that Hoyoverse is no stranger to.
Honkai Impact. Honkai. Let's see how many times Hoyoverse is on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're on there 4 different times at the top. They're at the top 4 different times. They have 4. You know how they say I'm the top 1, 2, 3, and 4? That's him. Naruto Mobile is also up there. I don't know how that happened.
At all. Genshin Impact in China alone has
Love and
made
Deep Dick is, like, number 5.
$38 million in June of 2024, and this is during a dead period where
So
there's not
leveling.
a lot of new content.
Alright.
Globally, Genshin Impact made $29 million, and I assure you, when the stats come out for July, it'll show a great number too.
Which just
But
came
that's
out today.
weird
We should look
because
at
some
that.
people were sharing this Imgur album saying this is the Chinese reaction to Natlan characters. Guys, there are allies here. With comments such as, agreed, it is appropriate to have black characters in settings and styles of Africa and Latin America, with bigger comments supporting it too. But here's the thing, this is part of a forum. I don't even know what the forum is.
Is this
These
like
are
Billy
only a
Billy? I have
few
no idea. I don't know what
handpicked
Billy
comments.
Billy looks like.
The reality is, most of the Chinese community is on Billy Billy. Let's see what they have to say there.
Shout out to Billy Billy.
We don't have political correctness. They can f off. I don't like someone who looks too black. Hillagers are black, and there are swarms of them. Why aren't they satisfied?
That fucking face, bro. That shit-eating grin is funny.
Characters look okay. What's the problem? Why do they need to have dark skin? Black skin are so repulsive to look at, only slight tan are okay. Now, of course, this doesn't represent the majority of Chinese people on this planet.
It only has like 85
but
likes.
The reality is, Hoyoverse would much rather piss off the global player who accesses Twitter and Reddit, two websites they can't access at home, rather than pissing off people like this. Don't get me wrong, 100,000 signatures is pretty significant.
No. I'm sure Mujin's just trying to be nice. No, it's not. You're like 1% of 1%. There's not a lot of people. It sounds like a lot of people on paper, but when you know how many people actually play Genshin Impact and stuff like that, you can tell. You can already tell.
And this would have maybe gotten a certain reaction from a Western developer. But you're
Amber
dealing with a
probably
Chinese
got like
corporation
100,000
and a Chinese
buys.
corporation will only care about either money or pissing off the government. That is it. There's nothing else. Zero. And this was proven in one of the worst ways as this was happening, by the way. The salt in the wound to everyone who signed this petition and complained on Twitter happened as they were
is this the
complaining.
Neuvillette thing?
On July 18th, not even a few days after the whole boycott movement.
I feel like this one makes sense why they would do it immediately. It's because this one actually could get them sued because of how this character has been advertised. So if they take out something that's integral to the character and people bought it, then that's like, I think they can get sued for that. So that one actually makes sense.
Was beginning to really explode. Genshin Impact released a patch for Neuvillette, a character famously known to have a very overpowered ability which lets him 360 and pretty much eliminate anyone in his radius.
That's pretty funny.
After 8 months of being out, they release a patch that quote-unquote fixes it and stops him from being able to do this rapidly. The Chinese fan base lost its mind.
Wait, that's
kind of
cool.
And threatened to
I want to see a
sue
Mahoyoverse
Genshin
building.
Impact
Is that weird?
under the law of Chinese
Mahoyoverse
consumer
building.
rights. And I kid you not, I kid you not, in under 24 hours, not only did they reverse the patch, but they sent one of the most generous rewards in the game's history.
10 pull. Wow. This is probably the one and only time they're ever going to give a 10 pull, by the way. They've never given a 10 pull since then.
1,600 Primogems to apologize. While people were still complaining about the skin colors, Hoyoverse had pretty much said, we couldn't care less unless our Chinese business was in danger.
Go fuck yourself.
As I told you, either money or the government. That is the only thing that can move a Chinese corporation. And Chinese players knew that very well. Look, people have voiced their opinions. It's their opinion, you know, it's their viewpoint, and of course it's valid.
Right.
I think one of the main issues I've seen people voice is the fact that their history is quote-unquote being replaced, because now if I type Olorun, which is the Yoruba deity, I start to see the Genshin Impact character, right? Who doesn't look anything like him. And
I think that's just because of how popular he got and how much people are going to talk about it. It's not so much that it's like, oh, now we're going to replace history. Google is not history. Google just shows what's like, I guess it shows just what's trending at the time when you look it up. Guess what was trending at the time when you look it up?
The people complaining are making this out to be a life or death situation. Like, oh my god, my culture is being replaced. It's
wow. Anyways, chat, what do you guys feel about Assassin's Creed Shadows, huh? Replacing your culture. I never would have guessed that one happening. Anyways, Assassin's Creed Shadows, huh?
Being erased. I cannot support the game anymore. But the thing is, you can't make this out to be a life or death situation if you're addicted to the game and can't stop playing it. You have to commit. Because the fact that people are still playing the game while signing the petition just makes everyone look like absolute clowns, and that's the reality. A real boycott.
I really want to see those people who made videos, bro. I mean, I wouldn't pull it up because that seems like an invasion of privacy, but that just seems so funny.
It's like what happened with Blizzard back in 2019, when they disqualified a player for voicing support for Hong Kong protesters back in 2019.
Oh, I remember that. Dude, he lost his prize
started
money and
deleting
everything.
their Blizzard accounts. Yes, deleting them, not just not playing on them, deleting them in such high numbers that Blizzard did something dirty. They started asking people for their ID to delete your account. They were getting scared. This emboldened the employees to start doing on-site protests on the company grounds. Now, unfortunately, this was stopped short when the Hong Kong protests got stopped short because of the pandemic. But as you can see, this is a real example of a boycott.
Yeah.
Not whatever's going on with Genshin right now. I don't think anything will change. And until something like this happens, nothing will ever change.
I'm going to be so real. Even if a lot of people in America did stuff like this where they walk out and protest, I still don't think people are going to care just because of how little money they make off of us, especially now that Tectone doesn't play. It's like, you know.
So my advice to you is, if you truly find this to be a life or death situation for you and your culture, then honestly, I think it's time to move on and go to a game that better presents your values.
Like Wuthering Waves.
Because Genshin Impact or anything under Hoiverse will not do so. And yeah, that's pretty much the controversy that's been going on the last few weeks. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you in the next video, which will probably be a deep dive on what's been going on with Ava Chris Tyson. There's a lot of misinfo being spread around, as well as some real info that some people might not be aware of. So going to be doing that. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but we'll see. Love you so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!
Boycott, I am... Wait, what is this? I am boycotting Genshin for rage. Anyways, want to play Genshin co-op with me right now? That's hilarious. Anyways, I ain't touching that other topic. Anyways, I love these videos. Mujin is the absolute greatest. And this is my first time reacting to his videos. I'll probably react to more of his videos another time, especially because I seen one about Anime Expo, and I was at Anime Expo. Anyways, chat, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.